Let's keep this real. I just came back from seeing the Minecraft movie. It's 3 in the morning, and we're now going to be talking about the reserve list top 10. Some things in my life, like chicken jockey, can never be unseen, so let's talk about the hottest selling reserve list cards from March 29th to April 5th of 2025. So here we go again. Another week goes by and another reserve list video, and these numbers are really starting to add up, so I hope people are paying attention. I'm MTG Moxman. I'm here to talk about the reserve list, and of course, if you're shopping for any of these cards, I hope you'll use my TCG Player affiliate link. It does help the channel get more prizes and stuff put in, so thanks again for supporting. Now let's go into the number 10 card, and it's Gaia's Cradle from Urza Saga. This thing is back up to almost its all-time highs. It's at $915 for a near mint copy. It sold 31 copies this week. That's $28,365 of total sales action. But here's something that you're not going to hear in other places. You're going to find it in my videos, and that is, I can tell you what copies sold. These are heavily played. These are not near mint. These are not going to be lightly played. They are going to be moderate to heavily played every single time, as well as a few damaged copies that were sleeve playable. This means they are available for players to buy, which tells you it's Commander players, vintage legacy players out there buying these things. It's not going to be your collector, investor, speculator, although those speculators could be controlling the market by letting these ones drip out. But we have noticed that after these copies hit the market and go up for sale and get bought by somebody, they don't tend to come back into the market. So pay close attention if you're looking for this card. Now, our number 9 card this week is Yavimaya Hollow, and that's from Urza's Destiny, another land card. And this one, of course, has that unique ability of regeneration. It takes the number 9 spot, 33 sales, or $2,058.54. Could this thing be finding a home in Dragon Commander decks? Well, it absolutely is, and that's one of the reasons why we're seeing so many copies start to leave the market suddenly. You have players who recognize they can save their dragons, and they're going to do everything they can to keep those bad boys on the battlefield. This card only saw a weekly change of like a penny. Monthly change, 38 cents. But if there's a mass exodus of this card, if speculators get involved, it's going to be a lot worse. So keep your eye on the market. If this is one of those cards you've always wanted, well, honestly, you already should have owned one by now. This thing's been as low as like 40 bucks, and it's only just starting to tick up now in the last like 6 months. So pay attention to the market, and the market will take care of you. You buy it once, you never have to worry about it again. This is like, it's a little bit of education. That's all it is. Guys, let's check out our next card, which is going to be Fast Bond. The card that refuses to leave even though it's banned. It is a conversation topic all the time. It takes the number 8 spot with 35 sales. That's $1,135 and some change. Now, the idea of this thing being unbanned has captured a lot of people's attention. A lot of speculation has honed around this card in the last year, and there's still high hopes from a lot of players out there that this thing is going to go somewhere different in the next couple of years. Now, if we look at this card, the high being 75, the lower now being around 50, and it's still dropping now, it's still slightly going up in value, which is kind of intimidating when you think about if this thing ever does become unbanned, it's going to 200 bucks overnight, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is why some players say better to find one, just one, near mint copy to put in your binder and never worry about this card again. Remember, there was tons of this thing printed over the last years and years of it being in existence, from alpha, beta, unlimited, all the way through to revised, and then it disappeared. Well, pay attention, guys. Find the near mint copy, call it a day. Now, our next card is coming to us from revised as well. This is Wheel of Fortune, and this is the same story as Gaia's Cradle. This thing is not going up in price, but what is happening is the 37 copies you see sold, or the $11,455 of total sales action, is again if they were near mint. These are not near mint. These are heavily played, damaged copies, which tells you players want to play with them. This isn't for speculation. This isn't for the high hopes of value. It's the playability of the card finally kind of finding its face. And the fact that these cards haven't dipped lower tells you that the market's not ready to let a card like this go below the 250 mark. It's gone down there a couple times and just drifts right back up. The pressure on the supply has been constant, and that means the price kind of sticks where it is. Guys, don't forget what this does. As a 1 red, 2 other, that splash effect in so many decks, being able to discard and draw 7 new cards, it's a game-ending effect. if used the right way, especially if you can utilize things that stop your opponents from keeping their cards or drawing all their mana out. Now our next card, Mox Diamond from Stronghold, another card that's had continued pressure. This thing hits number 6. It's got a total of 40 sales. That's still $25,000, okay? Now, this one here is a little bit more of a hodgepodge of sales listings. We've got everything from near mint, BGS copies, PSA copies, through moderate and heavily played. I didn't see any damage sales, but I'm sure they're out there as well. I just may not be able to track them. So for the purposes of this commenting section of the video, I'm not including any damaged copies because I didn't find any sold. You can email me. Now, this thing is slightly ticking down right now, but that doesn't mean the price has really changed in the market space for the card. The supply is just dwindling, and the market pressure on the card continues to be high, which means all it's going to take is a little bit of a fatal push. Get it? Hero's Downfall? Yeah, too much, right? I mean, the Minecraft movie's ringing in my ears right now. And I'm looking at this saying this kind of card, though, it should be a $1,000 to $2,000 card, and it's going to get there at some point, so people can't regret that choice if they didn't buy it ahead of time. Now, our next card is Memory Jar. This was on the list last week, and it jumps back up even higher this week. It takes the number 5 position, and of course, this card this week, 63 sales this week at a total cost of $2,140.11. The Memory Jar copies are near mint to lightly played, but of course, if you want a cheaper version, you can find moderately played copies for $25, so you can save some money using the TCG player and just find the cheapest copy you need to get your hands on. This one here is one of those unique cards that offers a lot of game effects. It did get a reprint in the From the Vault series, but of course that's never coming around again. They got slapped down for that one. So let's look at the Memory Jar. It's a 5 casting cost, don't forget. It's a brutal high casting cost. But when you look at this artifact, it says sacrifice the Memory Jar. Each player sets aside his or her hand face down and draws 7 cards, and at the end of that turn, each player discards them and picks up their other hand. It's a great way to get some crazy cards in, use them right away, and then ditch what's left, and your opponent probably gets nothing. Now our next card is Grim Monolith, Urza's Legacy. Have you noticed a lot of Urza cards on the list? Makes you wonder if there's something sinister going on in the backdrop. This thing had 72 sales this week. That's $25,000. Now, in the case of this card, we're seeing moderate, light, and near mint copies selling. Because the prices are actually pretty close together, this thing has had a massive upsurge in the overall value of the card. People are buying this thing big time. The average price is up to $350 for a near mint copy, and if you look at the monthly change, it's $28.71. That's a significant updraft in this card, considering we haven't seen any major gameplay changes with it. A lot of players are showing an interest in the card, and a lot of copies are leaving the market. That lets me believe that either somebody's speculating on the card, or there are a lot of players out there who just came across it and decided this would help synergize their commander decks and find other cards like Basalt Monolith to work with it, as we commented in last week's video. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Replenish, Urza's Destiny. This thing is up to $116.27 for a near mint copy. This was one of those cards with 100 sales. We are talking $11,627, and a lot of these copies selling right now are moderately played, near mint, and lightly played. No heavily played, no damaged copies are selling right now because the price has been pushed up so high. Players might as well just spend an extra $15 and get a lightly played, or $25 and get a near mint copy. That's where they're spending their money. That's what's happening with this card. But the fact it's just that easy to cast effect that brings everything back, it's insane. The monthly change is $3.67. That's not a huge surge, but at the same time, we're early on in this month still, and there's a lot of chance for growth at the end of this month with this card, assuming more copies come onto the market. If they don't, we're going to see this price actually etch up a lot higher. Now, 1 white and 3 other for this sorcery to return all enchantment cards from your graveyard, not everyone's, just yours, is insane. And if you have a way of bringing this back with recursion, it can be insane. I've seen this thing used with Yawgmoth's Will. Just nuts, guys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our next card. This is Dragons of Tarkir, written all over it. It's Zirlin of the Claw. Number 2 with 119 sales, but that's only $1,829.03. Gotta love all those players diving in and feeling the flow when it comes to a Dragon Commander deck. Zirlin of the Claw is not the most wicked card out there, but it can be just one of those fun guys to get out and mess with people. They've got to deal with it right away, or it becomes a real problem. The average price being only $15, considering the high is 40 bucks, it's still got room to grow. We're not going to see a lot of change in this, 94 cents on the month. It would take a lot more than this little bit. You'd have to sell this like every week for the next 4 weeks to really make an impact in the price. So don't be afraid of this thing shooting up or going down. It's going to stay pretty consistent. Now, when we're looking at Zero Another Claw, of course, if you bought this a few months ago, you would have saved some cash. But Zero Another Claw is a 5 casting cost. You got 3/4. You pay the 2 red and 1 other. Search your library for a dragon card. And of course, it gains, basically haste right away. And then, of course, it gets removed from the game. But with Elder Dragons, that's going to be enough to end the game in the right way. Or, of course, some of the new dragons we've seen from Tarkir, you're just going to be messing with people. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at that number 1 card. Rashida Scalesbane should not be here this week. I don't know what's going on, but we had 300 plus sales, 316 sales, $1,264 spent, and the card has gone up $2. It's like, it's seen a massive upsurge in price that it really shouldn't see. It's been as high as 25 bucks, but seeing it even double in value is kind of scary to me because there's no reason for it. This is a situational card that's a lot of fun if you play it. I can see why you might add it to your dragon deck just in case somebody takes your stuff or they have changelings and stuff like that. But as an overall piece of equipment cards you're going to utilize, I think most people would keep this in a sideboard at best. If it cost 2 less, it'd be a brutal card, but it doesn't. It's an old school card that can be a lot of fun to play, but it's not going to be the be-all, end-all. And Rashida Scalesbane, in this case, is one of those cards I think should be around the $15 mark, but that's, 20 years from now. I can see it going up over time, or if it becomes a real popular card, if we get bigger and badder dragons. But right now, it's not the... It doesn't have a reason. Let's talk about this. How do you start off a video like today? When you're looking at the reserve list and you see these numbers, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, okay? First off, higher end target cards for the reserve list are being hit right now. And this pressure has been like the low thud of a drum. It's not fast, but it is steady. It's steady and it's just not ending. And that's why you're seeing these slow increases like $1, $2, $3 slowly ticking up. It's almost imperceptible unless you follow these videos every single week. When you see, 3-4 months ago, we had 20 sales a week on certain cards. Now it's like 40, 50. That's a buyout. As small as it is for the reserve list content, it's a buyout. It hits a target market and there's a lot of people buying it. There are still people selling it, but that price, because of the supply being lower, is now ticking up the prices. And that's a lot, of course, due to modern cards as well. When we see the newer sets coming out, it affects reserve list cards. It just harkens back to a different day. You find a brutal card that does a better thing than the newer cards, and it costs less usually. The newer ones will cost like things that bring back all your enchantments. It's like 3 white and 3 other for 6, that card, right? But Replenish does it for 1 white and 3 other, and it can fit into all kinds of different decks. It's insane. When you look at cards like the Monolith, 2 to get out, it's pretty cheap. You can get it on turn 1 with a Soul Ring. I can see what you're talking about. It can get really effective to get big, bad things out. And that means players will pay attention to it. Now, what does this mean for older, low-end reserve list cards? Other than Rashida Scalesbane, which is interesting, most people don't care. Soldevi Excavations, one of my favorite cards, as you guys know. No real movement. Argivian Archaeologist, nothing much to speak of right now. It had a hit a few months ago, and it just faded out. Fork, Brain Geyser, nothing happening. Typical cards that people like to buy. When you look at the dual lands, yes, they are selling, but here's the real kicker when it comes to dual lands. We're selling 10 to 15 copies a week, which used to be enough to get on the reserve list top 10, but because of the cards we're seeing now and the Urza's block being hit, it's not happening. It's like people are reevaluating Urza block cards. When you saw Yavimaya Hollow, that thing regenerates dragons. It regenerates all kinds of other crazy creatures. There's a reason why it's being bought. There's a reason why people want it and decide to put it inside decks. You splash some green in there, you got a way of regenerating your stuff, it makes sense. Dragon decks, 5 color, you're going to have a lot of green, a lot of effective ways of utilizing Yavimaya Hollow. Like it. I like what I'm seeing. It's just, for me, when you see a card like Rashida Scalesbane, number 1, that's a buyout, for sure. People speculating, for sure, and it's not going to hold. It hasn't ever in the past, and it's not going to now. 2021 saw that card hit that $20 mark, right? 15, 20 bucks. But right now, what's propping it up is just the sheer volume of sales before it goes back down. The interest will wax and wane like always. It's not going to be the big hitter. Don't rush out and buy it unless you just want to get a copy and go for a near mint. Any low-end reserve list card, if you really want to have it, go for near mint. Go for the best of the best in case it can hit that niche market later on if it does spike. It's something to pay attention to. Either way, the market shows that there is reserve list interest in the higher end cards right now. That's what I can take a look at, extrapolate out, look at the sales numbers and say, yep, because nothing else is selling. Everything else is kind of sitting there. All kinds of base Legends cards from back in the day, Antiquities, Arabian Nights, nothing's really going anywhere. But these mid to high level cards are hitting things up. The only interesting thing is Elephant Graveyard slowed down, but Drop of Honey sold some copies. Not enough to make the list. 18 copies, but that's still interesting. 18 copies is a lot for a week. So anyway, thought I would let you guys know. Thanks again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the Minecraft movie. If you went and saw it, I'll be talking about that in the Ramble Jamble. Okay? Have a great one, guys. Keep thinking about Chicken Jockey. Keep thinking about Minecraft. Keep trying to get my head around what I just witnessed and saw. Guys, welcome back to the end of the video. These are all the patrons of the channel. The supporters who make this happen each and every day. If you're a patron, you know you're supporting this channel. If you're a YouTube membership member, you know you're supporting. Guys, I want to thank you again for being part of Team Moxman and allowing me to do this on YouTube, to make this happen every day. It means a lot. I'll see you guys soon. Another video. Welcome back to the end of the video. You've made it here this far, and I congratulate you for being here. It's awesome. The Ramble Jamble is a hard thing to cope with sometimes. I understand I don't always make sense. Things come out, don't always go back in. And I'm always drinking coffee or some other kind of liquid like this. I know, what is that? Did I cough up vampire blood or something? That's going to leave you guys wondering. I don't know, it's one of those Hawaiian punch things. Zero flavor my kid made me try. Very sweet. I mean, oh. No, I don't put sugar in my coffee. Anyway, let's talk about this. So, tomorrow's video is going to be talking about Tarkir. We're going to get there, don't worry. It's funny, a lot of people will put content out talking about it, but I'm going to be honest with you, I need the numbers. I need to know how the stores did, and that usually doesn't come out until Sunday night. So that's when I do the video talking about how everything actually went. Sales numbers, singles, I need to get a general idea. So we have to wait. We have to be patient. We have to be there. But my kid's Dragon deck, it's getting updates. I got the, I'll save it for tomorrow. Maybe I'll put it in a YouTube short, because some of the cards I got were pretty awesome. I opened a couple of collector packs for myself. So I opened a couple. I will share those with you, either the live stream or the thing. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, I've already taken up 1.5 minutes of this Ramble Jamble. Am I supposed to do that? Wait, it's my Ramble Jamble. It's not yours. You guys almost had me going. Now my mind is drifting back to Minecraft. I gotta save myself. I'm gonna finish this off. Guys, I'll talk to you soon. Live stream, be there, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time.